Hey, Miss Franz. What's up?
All right, so I am going to turn off music. We are going to get started. Maybe, okay, there we go. So we're going to look again at how we're going to get started. Um, so we started a few weeks ago the endangered species art uh, for the art contest for youths. Oh my gosh, it's right there in front of me. So we started looking at it, but we haven't actually started doing our species. And there's reasons for this. We are going to practice a little bit more with texture and value before we get started drawing a real live creature. They could be a plant, they could be an animal. So we've looked at texture. Texture, it has two things. It's either actual texture, and that's how it actually feels, or implied texture and how it looks like it would feel. If you touched an actual cactus, it would feel spiky. If you touched a photograph of a cactus, it wouldn't be spiky, but it looks like it would be spiky. So we practiced a little bit on how to make things look like they have that kind of texture. And that was what we did last week. We focused on things that were furry or fluffy. We focused on things that look spiky. We focused on things that um, either it said scaly or it said something else. One of those two things. But we practiced on making things that look different than what we normally draw. When you draw a person, generally speaking, you don't make them look bumpy or furry. You make, our hair looks like it's got texture, but you don't make people's hands look like they're very furry unless you're drawing like an X-Men or something. Then we talked, and before this, we talked about value. Value is shading, making things look dark to light of a certain color. We've only been focusing on black and white, and there's a reason for that. And we practiced some shading techniques. This was the first thing that we did. You can see an example here of how the flashlight and the artist worked. So the flashlight is shining from this side, from the right side, and the artist shows you that they kept making the side that is away from the flashlight darker. Can anybody remember what kind of shading technique this one is? You can unmute and tell me. I can give you a clue. It starts with C.
Hatching?
Cross hatching, but yes. So that was the kind. That was just simple lines. Trying to figure out where my sketchbook went. Kept telling you to get ready and I wasn't ready. So what we're going to do today is practice a still life. A still life is something that an artist will set up to make it look and just be one thing that is staying still. If you've ever seen a picture of a bowl of fruit, those are still lives. They don't move. They're just things that people use to draw. So we're going to practice. You're not doing this one. Don't do a triangle. I'm going to show you how we do this one. I am going to do a new share. And I need to pull up my document camera. So give me a thumbs up if you see my hand on top of my sketchbook. Wonderful. I'm going to guess if Samia can see it and so can Amar. Everyone else can too. So can you also, that means you can't see. That means you can't see the triangle anymore, is it?
No, we see your paper though.
Yeah. Let me see if I can do a 2-share thing. New share. Basic. PowerPoint. No. Do I not know how to do it both ways? Portion of screen? No. Files? No. All right. Well, I guess you're just going to have to, here, I'll switch back to this one for a minute. So give me a thumbs up if you can see the triangle. Cool. So this is just an object. This is just a pyramid, I should say. This is just a pyramid object that an artist has taken a photo of. This is a still life. It's not moving. It's not going anywhere. It's just one thing, sitting still. And this is the kind of thing that we are going to practice. You are not doing the pyramid. If you turn in the pyramid to me, you have not been listening. I am going to show you how to do one with the pyramid. So you do not need to be working right now. We're going to look at these. How many shapes do you see currently on this page? You can unmute and tell me.
1.
All right, we've got someone who says they see 1. Samia's got 1 finger up. Anybody see more or less? Well, you can't see less. Somebody said
I see 3.
All right, so I heard Nairu said 3. Mia's got 3. Anybody just see? Oh, Stephanie says 3. I would say that there are 3 definite shapes.
Ma'am, are you saying the whole shape or the sides, lines of it? Definite.
That's why I was.
Okay, then it's 3.
Yeah.
Then it's 3. Then
It's 3 shapes.
It's okay. This is new. Y'all may have never looked at this kind of thing before, but EJ says he says 5. All right, I'd like to see 5 of them. But I see 3 as well. So now I'm going to go back to my camera and we're going to talk about how we will be drawing things like this. So I said that I saw 3 shapes. There was triangle, but that's not a pyramid. That's just a triangle. I haven't done anything else with it. To make it look like a pyramid, it needs to have another side. So that's 2 triangles so far. The third side, oh, I get you, EJ. You are correct. There would be 5, but we only saw 3 of them. The third shape that I saw was the shadow on the ground. So I'm going to switch back over to the camera, or I'm sorry, to the screen so you can see that I drew, and I'll hold it up here. So I've got 1 side or 1 shape, 2 shape, 3 shapes. And again, 1 shape, 2 shape, 3 shapes. Out of these 3 shapes, which one is the brightest in colors? You can unmute and tell me which one you think is the brightest in color.
ma'am,
The first shape.
The second shape.
Okay. The one close to
Shape.
the one in the middle.
The one close to the light.
The left side.
There you go.
Left side.
All right. Let me move back to my camera. This side right here is the closest to the light. And you don't need to draw an arrow when you're doing yours. I'm drawing it so you can see it. So because it's closest to the line, it doesn't have any, I'm not going to do anything to it. But this part is not close to the line. It's got a little bit of shadow on it. So I'm going to hold my pencil kind of sideways a little bit, and I'm just going to color, and I'm going to keep, and I'm going to color down, and I'm going to make sure that I'm staying in my lines. So I messed up right here, but that's easy because all I have to do is erase a little bit, and that's fine. Now we're going to go back and we're going to look at the triangle again. Go back and look. or pyramid, excuse me, over here. And now, what about the shadow? Is the shadow darker or lighter than the one I colored? It's okay. I want to hear from you guys. Do you think it's darker or lighter?
Darker.
Yeah, it's up to, it's not the same shade, is it? It's not the same kind of gray.
The part in the dark.
Yes.
Means the top part is more darker than the bottom part.
You got it. So when we're doing the shadow, sorry, I need to go back to the camera. You want to make sure that your shadow is not the same color as this side. It wouldn't look good. It wouldn't look right. Because as we just said, the shadow is not the same color as the rest of the triangle. So I'm going to hold my pencil farther back. This time I'm going to hold it from like back here. And when I color, it's going to be a lot lighter than the other one. And you can't tell, I mean, you can see that this is the shadow and this is the dark side. If I made everything the same color, you wouldn't be able to tell very well where that was. If you find out that you made yours the same kind, all you have to do is take an eraser and erase some of it. And you can come back and color lighter. So I'm not pressing down very hard when I do the shadow. So what you guys are going to be doing for the next, oh good, you've got 10 minutes. You are going to be working on one of these. You may pick the sphere or the square, the cube. And when you are done, you can hold it up and put it up. Now, you can't be done. You're not doing the triangle. If you did the pyramid, you weren't listening. You are picking one of these two, and you are going to do it on your page. Please make sure that it's pretty big. Don't do a tiny one. I want you to fill up about half the page. So you can pick the cube or the sphere. You can go ahead and practice them. You've got plenty of time. You've in fact got 10 minutes to practice these. So get your paper, get started on the practice. When you are done, remember to say, Miss Franz, here's mine, so I can look at your camera and say, why, yes, Mia, I see yours, you are done. And then you don't have to do yours for homework. If you do not finish it and show it to me in class today, then you do have to do it for homework. So you've got 10 minutes to practice. Go. I will, in fact, turn on some music again so we can sit and listen to something while you work. So remember, you only have to do one. I put the cube or the sphere. You don't have to do both.